And gentlemen, we need to talk. You'd think after Charlie Kirk's death, people would actually stop and be human for a second. You'd think maybe they'd reflect. You'd think maybe there would be just a shred of humanity left in this complete discourse. But no. What if I told you the hate was louder than ever? Because now they want Hersov. Yes, you heard me right, Rob Hersov. One of the very few South African businessmen bold enough to speak the truth about what's really going on in this country. One of the very few guys who doesn't hide behind corporate slogans, who doesn't try to sugarcoat the chaos, who doesn't care if the ANC gets uncomfortable when he speaks, and of course, the man who made the famous hashtag #ANC. Recently, a clip of Hersov and Charlie Kirk talking about South Africa went viral. Just them sitting down, speaking facts about the collapse, about corruption, about state capture, about ESCOM, crime, immigration, is the white genocide true, you name it. And the response, you'd hope it would be people saying, finally, two people that are smart saying what we're all thinking. But instead, what flooded the comments was something so vile, so venomous, that honestly, I don't even want to show it on this video because I feel they will take this down because they've done that to me before. You've got people, self-proclaimed black supremacists, openly saying that Rob Hersov should follow Charlie Kirk, that he should be next. And it's not just anonymous trolls behind keyboards either, no. You've got supposed law enforcement officers, people with badges, with authority, allegedly posting this filth online. Think about that for a second. A cop, sworn to protect, out here cheering for a man's death. So why Hersov? Why him? It's simple. Hersov is dangerous to the status quo because he can't be bought, right? He is a billionaire, successful, connected, with the kind of freedom most South Africans will never even dream of. He doesn't need political favor. He doesn't need corporate sponsors. He doesn't need to play nice with the ANC. And when they did come to him, he said no. It's like what they did with me. Long story short, quick story, fun fact about me. When I was still on the rise on YouTube, I got an awful lot of invitations from political parties. I'm not going to name names because you're going to go after them. I know my people. But then you want to know what I did? I declined them all, even though the numbers were very tempting. Because I also knew they'd call for the assassination of public figures and not be punished for it. And thus they'd be setting the stage for disaster. And I didn't want to be a part of that because words aren't just words anymore. Online hate spills into real life. A keyboard warrior today can become a shooter tomorrow. A gay furry today can be the guy that shot Charlie Kirk tomorrow. You're creating a society where violence is not just excused, but it's actually encouraged. And don't get it twisted, this is bigger than Hersov. This is about silencing anyone who speaks out. They did it to Kennedy, then it was Kirk, now you move to Rob Hersov. They tried it with Trump. Who's next? Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Tucker Carlson? Who's next? uh, maybe, maybe I should stop this video right here, But what blows my mind is the hypocrisy. We've got human rights commissions, activists, NGOs who lose their minds if someone says one politically incorrect sentence. But actual open calls for murder, you hear crickets. Where are the think pieces? Where's the outrage? Where's the protests and riots now? Y'all were crazy when George Floyd died. You didn't even want us to sleep because there was so much noise outside on the street. Now, what's going on? Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if white supremacists on TikTok were calling for Julius Malema to be assassinated. You wouldn't hear the end of it. It would be international headlines for weeks. UN press conferences, hashtags all over Twitter, politicians giving speeches. You could be arrested for white supremacy because it's wrong. Why can't you be arrested for black supremacy? It's wrong too. Right? The truth is terrifying to people who have built their power on lies. Rob Hersov talks about the ANC's failures. He talks about the looting, the mismanagement, the corruption. He's like the corporate version, right, that goes after them. He's not really unfiltered like me. I can be right here and say, fuck you all. I hope your phones get hijacked and I hope you all suffer for what you have done. He won't do that. He'll deliver it in a more formal way, right? But nonetheless, you can't stop people from waking up forever. You get what I mean? Unless you silence the person waking them up. And that's the chilling part. If the system doesn't step in now, if these threats go unchecked, then a precedent is being set. It's open season to anyone who opposes the establishment. And that's where the danger lies. Not just for Hersov, but for outspoken figures and the average citizen. Because once a culture normalizes violence against speech, it doesn't stop at the top. It trickles down. You'll have neighbors turning on each other. You'll have communities split. You'll have violence over ideas, not just crime over desperation. And in a country already drowning in crime, that is the last thing South Africa needs. You want to know what I find hilarious about all of this? These black supremacists on TikTok probably filmed their death threat videos on iPhones made by Apple, a company run by, wait for it, rich white guys. You're threatening Rob Hersov while sitting in clothes made by Western corporations, sipping Coca-Cola, which is Western, posting on a Chinese-owned app. The irony writes itself. It tells us how much of a fool you've become. And don't even get me started on the supposed cop. A cop. Imagine being a police officer, earning your paycheck from taxpayer money, and then using that badge as your license to wish death on someone who doesn't deserve it. You can't even catch a cable thief, and now you think you're a revolutionary assassin. Paula, relax. Relax. Guys, when you see threats like this, call it out like what I'm doing. Don't let it slide. Don't normalize this. That is the mistake. Don't dare normalize this. Don't let death threats be swept under the rug. Protect voices like mine. Protect voices like Hersov's. Whether you agree with me on anything, it doesn't matter. Because today it's Charlie Kirk. Tomorrow it could be someone you agree with. The principle is the same. Number 3, recognize the playbook. Watch. They're going to frame Hersov as problematic, controversial, maybe even dangerous. They're going to say Rob Hersov is a problem that must be dealt with. That's how they soften you up for tyranny. And number 4, remember the power of community. Because one voice is easy to silence, a million voices are not. If Rob Hersov is standing alone, he's vulnerable. If I stand alone, I'm vulnerable. But if I can stand backed by a community of people who see the truth, who refuse to be intimidated, then they've got a real problem on their hands. You get what I mean? So, hey guys, I'm tired. Here's where we land. Charlie Kirk's death was not an isolated event. It was a signal. And now, with Hersov being openly threatened, we can see the dominoes lining up. The establishment doesn't want debate. They don't want an argument. They don't want reasonable discussion. They want silence, right? We are like mice to them when we talk. You know a mosquito when you're sleeping. You hear the mosquito in the background and you just feel like killing it, burning it, tying it up, and then burning its children in front of it, burning its eggs in front of it. That's how they feel about us because we keep popping up like poisonous mushrooms. I don't need to be your hero. I don't need to be perfect. But right now, people like Rob Hersov are symbols. A symbol of what happens when you dare to speak truth in a country that doesn't want to hear it, right? That's why you're subscribed to me. I wake up in the morning and I say my truth. I say my truth. So yeah, they want Hersov. They do. But let me tell you something. They can't silence all of us. Not if we refuse to shut up. Not if we refuse to play their game. The future of South Africa depends on it. And if you're wondering why I'm sounding like a middle-aged man tied to a tattooed delinquent who just came back from a lit party last night, it's because I only slept for about 3 hours. I've been following these cases like L. Lollet from Death Note. I've been torturing myself this week. This week is probably the least amount of sleep I've gotten in my entire life. I think it's also because of the trauma. I saw the whole raw footage of Charlie Kirk get assassinated. I saw the raw footage of the girl, the vicious stabbing on the train, the blood everywhere. So, you know, when you see things like that, and also you're an influencer people don't agree with, you just sit there. Did I tell you guys what happened yesterday in college? So, I went to college because I'm done now and I had to submit my CV. So when I went there, I saw some old friends, right? Some passed, some failed, so they had to re-register, and the vibe was just so different. You know what I mean? Like, you know when a friend sees you and you can't see them, they'll like yell your name from far, but to like that day was different. And then I saw them and I was, I saw this one guy friend of mine and I was like, "What's up, man? How you been?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, what's up, man?" Like the vibe he was giving, like when you reach the level I reach, you can read energies. You know what I mean? Energies. You can see if someone doesn't want to be with you or chill with you, and you can see if someone does. It's an energy thing. And this guy's energy yesterday wasn't giving. Like, remember when I left college, I was at about 20K subs. Now I'm closing in on 60K. So obviously, I'm more of a household name now than ever. So when I went back there, it was just different. People looking the other way when I'm walking. It's one of those things like they know who you are, but they don't wanna, you know what I mean? Because let's just say he's not the influencer people would put on, the cover of a Coca-Cola thing. You know what I mean? Like he has influence, but he's not the type of guy you'd want to host the Daily Show. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he's so hated. Guys, the hate is real. The hate is real. I was approached by another guy the other day. He's like, "Are you son?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. Maybe I am. What's up?" And he's like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to say you talk a whole lot of bullshit." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." You know what I mean? I mean, it's love, but then there's always those ones who just don't like you, and there's nothing you can do about them. But you get more of that when you do what I'm doing. You get what I mean? Like, watch what happens in a few years' time. Maybe they'll say I have a mental illness or something. They'll say, "Nah, Summer's crazy. This guy's always been crazy." You know what I mean? Like, they'll call me like a misogynist. Actually, they've already started doing that. So I uploaded my video on South Africa's lust of culture, which has discouraged us to keep the tradition of starting families. And people were like, "Oh, shut up, you homophobe, you misogynist, right? You look down upon others and women." Like, bro, that is not true. You know what I mean? But hey, guess those people exist and there's nothing you can do about them. You're just trying to wake people up. I just hope you like, share, and subscribe. It's been a very interesting journey. The closer we get to 100K subscribers this year, it's the closer I get to realizing that the summer movement has really become something, and it couldn't have become that without you guys. I think also Charlie Kirk's assassination is also like kind of, it's rattled us a little bit, but it's also reminded us like, guys, you need to value life. See, now that guy's kids now, they're gonna grow up without a father now. The mom, everything is on her now. You see, now she has to play both roles. It's very evil. It's very evil. And stay safe. Like always, I'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing. You need to come closer. Come closer.